So we make microencapsulation. Microencapsulation is a very old technology. It's I think everybody remembers scratch and sniff, either in magazines or in T-shirts. So it's not, it's not, Suzanne quite often likes the term rocket science. I think it is rocket science, but what we've done with it is imagine what you can do with a technology, one technology, a simple principle. Imagine what you can do with it. So we took the microcapsules, and microcapsules are basically like little bubbles. So think of bubble wrap, and you can put anything inside those bubbles, and when you snap the bubbles, they open up, and whatever's inside comes out. So your imagination will tell you, now what can I put on those bubbles that someone wants, and what can I put those bubbles on? So these microcapsules of ours end up all over the world, in everything from teddy bears to car seat protectors if you have a pet. So the pet gets into the car, there's seat protectors on the car seat. He sort of breaks some capsules with his paws as he sits down. You release a fragrance that's actually counteracting the malodors from the pet, although I'm sure none of our pets smell. Just teddy bears, car seat protectors, things that don't get washed, cushions, bed sheets. We put our capsules into a plethora of things all around the world. And in fact, in the UK, they even go into tights. So you can buy cooling tights, moisturizing tights, anti-cellulite tights. That technology is ours. And the journey of the technology is amazing because it's made in Rochester. It goes all the way to China, and then it ends up on your high street store.
I remember one particular owner in Mexico that I met with, and he was proudly telling me about his company, and he said, we have 5,000 employees, and we have 4 factories, and I'm sitting there, and he's telling me all this, and then he said, and how many employees do you have? And at the time, I said, 6. And he said, 600? I said, no, 6. 6,000? No. 6. How can this be? How can you have all these products? How are you bringing all this? I said, well, that's what we do. We innovate.
Innovative, yes.
The breadth of the business, when you're an entrepreneur, you've got to know a bit of everything. And I think I love that variety.
Every day is different.
Yes.
Every task, every moment, every new challenge is different. I didn't think I was going to be an entrepreneur either. I think we are unusual entrepreneurs because we have classic big company training behind us. We didn't start, at 18, doing our own thing, making it in the garage. So, and we did come into entrepreneurship, into a business that was already formed and running, and we took it on to its next level. So I think the challenge of always having something different and being in control of your destiny. Being in control of your destiny, and everything you do counts. Counts towards the success of your business, counts towards the success of your people. That is just amazing.
Looking at your website and things that you say on there, Shivani, you say it's not what it is, it's what you can imagine it will become. I think that's so inspirational to say that. New ideas are interesting, but knowing which ones can successfully become a reality, now that's really exciting. And I think that really says a lot about you.
Yes.
And Suzanne, you're saying technically creative or creatively technical. I consider no problem too big to resolve and no issue too small to ignore. So you're bringing 2 very different perspectives and backgrounds together, working in partnership, to develop a very, very successful 25-year-old business. There's got to be a good partnership.
It's quite unusual, I think, for a marketing person and a technical person to get along. Inherently, in bigger companies, there's a bit of creative tension between those 2 disciplines. There's competition even. And so for Shivani and myself, somehow we've never been in competition, whether we've been a big company or a small company. And I'm a technical person, but I'm very interested in commercialisation. So not just science for the sake of it, but how do you get that product, take it to market. Shibani comes from the marketing side, but sees it exactly the same. So together we're about bringing things to the market and bringing things to reality.
And I think we have a knack, and it's because lots of people have ideas. So I would not say there's a shortage of ideas. I don't think there is. But you've got to see an idea, and you've got to be able to see, can I turn it into something that I can get people to buy? And you can do an enormous amount of research, but you've got to have that intuition at the beginning. So, I mean, I had a job as a new business development director, and everyone came to me with new ideas. But to actually spot an idea that you can make money with, and there's something about the combination of our skills. We're very good with technology, seeing it, even as a molecule, and thinking, I can turn that into something a consumer wants. Our starting point is perhaps a bit luckier. So, you know, I've grown up in Africa, in the Far East, in India, and in the UK. And then Suzanne and I have both travelled extensively all our professional lives, all over the world. So you've immediately got a melting pot of cultures coming into a very small situation. So knowing how to behave in India, and knowing how to behave in Brazil, and it is different. There is different etiquette. So we're kind of quite groomed on an international level. So that's helped us to step into different cultures and to know how to behave. We're not we know how to make the best of where we come from and to sell it in a very, very positive light. So that's been a huge help.
But the key, I think, to getting into other markets is finding partners that you can work with who understand those countries and understand the nuances. So we've got some very good partnerships with other international companies who've been helpful along the way.